Hello, how's it going? This is Maniac Tim with Maniac Sports, and I hope that you guys are having a great day. I hope everybody has a safe day, definitely with the way the weather is going on across the U.S. But um, while NFL Wild Card Weekend is here, Super Wild Card Weekend is what the NFL calls it. Let's just hope we have some super results here. We want to see some games played. We want to see some good quality football. We just want to see some hard hitting, smash mouth, bone crushing football. That's what we want to see. We want to see that. So hopefully we'll be able to see most of the games. Hopefully, of course, the game that concerns me the most needs to be the Lions, where Rams come to take on the Lions. Hey, how's it going, Steve? How's it going? Feel free to hop on if you want to. Uh, Hope your day's going good. Are you ready for some football? Are you ready for Goff versus Stafford? Campbell versus McVay? Are you ready for that? Are you ready to see a? Are you ready to see uh, Stafford knocked on his butt? You know, I know you're always ready. I know that. Always good when I see your show. I can't be in. I can't be in a good mood. Yeah. Uh. Shoot. But shoot, we just got to see. So you're actually being a little bit of a rebel too. I mean that's great. You're going to wear your Stafford's jersey to the game. Uh, I'm sure you'll get some looks. Uh, are you gonna go and say hi to Jared Goff when you got Matthew Stafford's jersey on? That might be a little bit interesting. uh, oh, okay. I can be mean. Oh man, you know, some Lions fans would say that you're bringing some voodoo by wearing our ex quarterbacks um jersey to the, but who knows? I'm not one of them. I always meet Jared Goff, so I'm okay. LOL. Yeah, I know you have met him before, but I just wonder if you're gonna go shake his hand and have that number 9 jersey staring Jared Goff in the face. Hey, how's it going, Grandizer Troll? Wakey, 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 eggs, bakey. Time for pancakey. Good morning from the West Coast, Tim and Tim's Maniac Sports family. Heck yeah. Good morning to you, Grandizer 12. Appreciate you coming in. What brings out the maniac in you? Hey, what brings out the maniac is I just want to see Matthew Stafford go ahead and knock down his tush. He's coming to the Rams, or he's coming with the Rams to play his former team. I just want to see Matthew Stafford just go ahead and get sacked a lot, go ahead and get intercepted a lot. I want to see him uncomfortable in that pocket. That's what I want to see. No, I'm not a Stafford hater, but I am a Lions fan 100%. Free for All Friday with Tim Becker. He is a victim of the modern age. Hit that like button. Show your support. One Pride. Biting kneecaps. Clue the sound growl. Man, that was awful. I'm sorry I did that one awful. Man, I don't know what's wrong with my voice today. Maybe I was up too late. But yeah, definitely. One Pride. Let's bring on the pain. Let's go ahead and show Matthew Stafford and the Rams, hey, this ain't your home anymore. This is not your home anymore. But getting on with it, enough picking on Matthew Stafford and all that other stuff. But it's the Lions this week. This is the most important home game of the year so far because it's one and done. Dan Campbell's and Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, they all need to be on their game 100% in order to bring it to the Rams because, hey, it's time to grow. It's time to take a step upward. One of the things that in the past that the Lions have been accused of is not elevating their level of play in the playoffs. They wouldn't bring the intensity, the drive. I'm sorry, this team that we got now, if this culture has indeed changed, then you're going to see them step up, bring the momentum. Don't be flat. I mean, I'll tell you, they got all the reasons to win this game, to go ahead. All the stuff between Goff and McVay and all this other stuff, all this stuff where, hey, basically in some ways, Stafford did go ahead and say, gave us a middle finger. Yeah, I mean, not really gave it, but he said, hey, Super Bowl was more important to him than winning one here. Now, I do think that trade helped the Lions to get better. I think that it just made us a lot better team than what we had. All right, we're going to get all right. Hey, how's it going, Steve? How's it going?
Hey, Tim, how you doing? How you doing?
Doing okay.
That's good.
Yeah, I see you got your light, and I see you had to go ahead and put on that number 9 jersey.
I had to. I'm still planning on wearing this to the game. Hopefully, they will throw me out of Ford Field if I wear it. So I've already heard a couple places. I heard a couple of bars is not let people in if they have Stafford jerseys. So I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that too. And like, yeah, Stafford jerseys are banned.
Yeah.
Oh,
but you know what, Tim? I think you're gonna see a lot of his jerseys there, and I think you're gonna see a lot of Ram jerseys of him. And then also I think you're gonna see a lot of Detroit Rams shirts and things like that. So I think it's gonna be a lot of those. It's just like, you can still be a Lions fan even though you're wearing the Stafford jersey, but you still a Lions fan though. So
just so you're rooting for the Lions to win. That's all I
call. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I know I don't got ruin for you. I know I don't got to worry about that from you.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Be like,
what's fighting words? They used to have the dolls, fight each other.
Yeah, I remember that. It's crazy because sometimes I be using props and stuff on a podcast and stuff. So I actually did that yesterday with we was talking about the game. So it was I kind of use a little bobbleheads. I like doing those type of things, man. But it's all in good fun, man. It's
Yeah.
just even though I got on the Lions Stafford jersey, I'm gonna always be a Lions fan. I mean, no matter what. It's just that I just know that the atmosphere on Sunday is gonna be insane. It's gonna be crazy.
Mhm.
It is going to be insane. And I'm looking forward to seeing the atmosphere and seeing how the crowd is. And I just hope this isn't a big stage for the Lions and they get like over amped up where they're so excited, even though there's nothing wrong being excited, but at the same time you don't want to
Be
um
edgy, and
get
make mistakes.
right, right. Like
Exactly.
you too amped to the point to where you're so excited that you're gonna make mistakes and that national televised moment is too much for you. And
Hmm.
you and just the fact that this is the first home game within 30 years, and then you lose to a guy who used to be here. That's gonna be even worse. Yeah,
Yeah,
we can tell you how that happened.
we don't need to see we don't need to get a dagger in the heart from Stafford.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Tim, we already got those daggers when he won a Super Bowl.
Right, I know.
So it's like, man, it was just like, yeah, and I was happy for that he got a Super Bowl, but it's just
Hmm.
the Lions fan in me was just like, man, I hope he loses this game. I hope. But he didn't. So it's okay.
I gotta admit, I was rooting for him to get that Super Bowl because of all
Hmm.
what he gave us when he was here. I think he did his best. Yeah, I do think the organization failed him where they didn't
Absolutely.
where they didn't build the team right around him.
Hmm.
Uh,
I agree.
he never had the offensive line, you know, or the running game,
Right.
that we
Right.
got right now. If you had his precision, and he was with the Lions right now, who knows where we'd go? you know,
Yeah.
who knows? And
Yeah.
and that's not to be a knock on golf, you know,
Hmm.
because it's not because hey, golf has did something in 3 years that Stafford could not do in
Right.
12 years. So
Right.
I mean, yes, it was under different organization and stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't that the Lions didn't try back then because they did bring in Jim Schwartz. They
Hmm.
thought that Matt Patricia would be able to fix things. You know, why I don't know.
Right.
you know, but it's just Jim Caldwell. He he got us so far, and it's just you know you can't blame see I don't blame Matthew Stafford for having enough you know
Hmm.
with the organization you
Right.
know
Right.
and wanting to achieve that Super Bowl. Now I do think that it worked out better for the Lions because those getting Goff was not like throwaway trash. He's a good
Hmm.
he's a good quarterback in itself. But not only did we
Absolutely.
get Goff, we got a third round draft pick. We got two first round draft picks. It helped us to build that team. You know,
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely. Yeah, and you're right about that because I think we wouldn't be having the guys that we have now if we didn't do that trade.
right.
So that was one of the best things that ever happened to this organization. Even though we always gonna have a lot of love for Stafford and
Hmm.
what he's done, and even for the city of Detroit, what he's done.
Right.
So it's just even though even though it's kind of messed up that they didn't give his wife a suite at
Right.
Ford Field, I thought I was like, wow, but hey,
Yeah.
that's just them being competitive. You know what I mean? I can't fault them too much for that. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like Matthew Stafford. He's always gonna have love in this city of
Oh yeah.
what he's done and the organizations and the parks and everything he's done. It's and I believe even it was a collapse in one of the freeways, and I think he donated some money or he helped out somebody. So I thought that was a pretty I thought that was very genuine that
Mm-hmm.
he did that. But when Sunday come, it's just that
He's
get
our
thrown
enemy.
out of the window.
Yeah. When Sunday comes, he's our enemy. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just what it is. I
yeah,
mean, I can admire what he did. I can, appreciate what he did. I can appreciate him. Now,
absolutely.
one thing that would turn me to be a Stafford hater. Okay,
Mm.
yeah, if he ever went to Green Bay
Oh
or
yes,
any NFC North team, it's just because that's like, to me, that's like a stab in the back. You know,
yeah. That would be the T.J. Hawkinson thing to do.
yeah. But in our fairness, it wasn't TJ's fault because we traded TJ.
Right, right.
So that was a regime that we got here right now. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
There's Country Podcast. How's
What's
it
going
going?
on? Yeah, I seen their program yesterday. They did a good job.
Oh,
They did a
cool.
good job. Yeah, they did a real good job. And man, we was hoping them Bears was gonna beat them Packers, but hey,
I know.
it happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
in a way, I kind of want the Packers to beat the Dallas Cowboys.
I do.
It,
Man, I really want them to beat them, and
yeah.
then to have it in Dallas, where
Mm-hmm.
they just not a good home team on the playoffs for some reason. They're not. It's like
Mm-hmm.
they and they run again long as they don't run into the 49ers, because it seemed like the 49ers always had a number.
Right.
But it's just I really want the Packers. But I'm gonna tell you, Tim, I got the Packers winning
Mm-hmm.
in Dallas.
Right.
I do.
Mm-hmm. Oh
I
yeah.
really do.
I mean, the Packers have kind of been Dallas' Achilles heel.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it, where, I mean, like the 49ers have been the Packers' Achilles heel.
Right. Right. Exactly.
I don't want the Packers to go to the Super Bowl. I just want them to beat Dallas, just because, it's just because of the way,
Yeah. I
the
kind of
enemy of my enemy is my friend.
right. Exactly. 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 I hear you. I hear you. But it's just I just like to see them beat Dallas just to to shut up them Cowboy fans, or as we call it, the Cowgirls.
Yeah.
I do have another word for them, but I can't say it on here. So
Right.
so it would be nice. Now during these matchups too, man, I want them to be that, but at the same time, and I know I hate to say this, and I know my other podcast buddy probably gonna be mad at me because he's I kind of want to see I kind of want to see the Buccaneers beat the Eagles, even though that might not happen. But I kind of want to see that just for a shakeup. Because yeah, go ahead.
Well, okay, if you look at it as a Lions fan standpoint, okay, we could end up needing to play, so I would like to see that the Eagles lose too, because I don't want to play a running quarterback. That's one of our Achilles heels is, so that's why I mean, definitely I want the Packers to beat Dallas. I can't stand Dallas. I mean, it's just, no matter what you say, we were robbed. We've been robbed there many a times.
Absolutely.
I want the 40-winers to beat
I
the
like
Packers.
that. I like that. I'm gonna start using that. I like that.
You heard that?
That's the first time. That's the
Wow.
first time I actually heard that.
Wow.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You learn something new every day. I tell you.
We gotta bring you up to speed, Steve.
Right? I know. I
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
I know. I've been under cocoon for a long time. I see. But yeah, I would like to see that too, man. Because if the Packers end up beating the Cowboys, they would play the 49ers,
Yes,
and
they would.
we would play the winner between the Philly and the Buccaneers. Which
Right.
it would be crazy if it's Philly and then you got to face Matt Patricia, or as I call him, Fat Patricia. So
Fatty. Yeah. The fatty Matty Patty, man.
and
You know,
they've been struggling since he's really done the play calling and stuff. And
I
it's gonna
know.
be interesting.
Yeah.
And you know it'll be interesting to see them and Bat Patricia, but also with Darius Slay. Because
Oh
I
yeah.
think he doesn't, because I've noticed he hasn't really played since Matt Patricia has been doing the play call as defensive coordinator. He
Well,
hasn't really want to play.
Matt Patricia was very rude to Darius Slay.
Yes, he
It,
was.
I mean, it was the thing that he said to him was, just when he was lying. Oh man, why don't you?
It's just,
Yeah, quit blanking this guy's blank blank, and go out and that's basically what he said, and it would I mean, their slate took it
Mhm.
to heart. So I mean, I'm
Right.
sure he looked at the Eagles and said, "I got traded from Detroit, and then you bring this idiot who went ahead and ruined Detroit, who went ahead and
Yeah.
ruined the
Ruin the culture because
oh man,
a lot of a lot of players left after Slay. It just rubbed them the wrong way.
mm-hmm.
Guys like Grover Quinn and Quandre Diggs, a lot of those guys just didn't want to come there because of the disrespect. Didn't want to stay there because of the disrespect that
Right.
Fatty Patty gave them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, which I don't understand. I just hated that they left, and who knows what this team would have been. But then at the same time, if that didn't happen, we wouldn't have the players that we have. So
Right.
it's kind of a gift and a curse.
Yeah, but
Yep.
see, in my opinion, Matt Patricia's main mistake, and probably not only the way that he handled the players and all this other stuff, but it
Hmm.
was also he did not know how to use the good players that he had bad. He
Absolutely.
right. He just wanted to go ahead and have he had that tunnel vision for his one way was the Patriots way, and that was it. Instead of adjusting to the players that you had on the team, and then slowly making them your team, using the strengths that you already had, because he took a team that was 9-7 and made them into you know a couple win team.
Right. Right.
So it's I mean you don't do that.
No,
I
you
mean
can't.
everybody remembers 9-7 wasn't good enough. That's why good old Bob Quinn brought him in.
Hmm.
I'll tell you, Bob Quinn was the worst. I mean, because remember, Bob Quinn was recommended by the NFL
Hmm.
to Martha Ford.
Yep.
He recommended. So was he a plant to go ahead and destroy the Lions?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Just like Matt Millen was. Matt
yeah,
Millen was there to destroy the Lions as well. He didn't
yeah.
know he didn't know, smart guy, but he just didn't know what to do in the front office. He just didn't
Mhm.
know.
Right, he did. Yeah, except
Yeah.
except draft receivers.
Yeah.
You
Right.
draft receivers. We need another receiver. We need an oh boy, it was
Yeah.
every time.
Every
Yeah.
time. And it's just like with Patricia running that Patriot way. It's like
Hmm.
it just ran its course because the only team that can do that is the Patriots.
Right.
So and that's been an ongoing thing for this team. We're trying to do stuff that trying to emulate other teams. We
Right.
can't do that. We got to have our own identity, even though we got a
Mhm.
lot of because then we got a lot of Rams people in this organization, so
Right.
they kind of know these Rams.
Mhm.
So, but the Rams they're kind of similar to the Rams type of offense. So Rams
Mhm.
kind of know this offense and knows golf. So hopefully that won't work against them like that. But at the same time, we know how Stafford runs. So
Right.
I think this is going to be an interesting game to have, man. But as Detroit fans, man, we suffered a lot. We've suffered
Mhm.
a whole lot.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
know,
for sure. Yep.
to this have this type of playoff game is just it's and for the city, man, we've been waiting for this for a long time,
Mhm.
and it's here. And I would just say, man, just root for this team, support this team, throughout a win or a loss. Just support this
Mhm.
team because who would have thought that we would have had 12 wins?
Yep.
And,
Certainly
and I
did think
know
so.
people, and I know people. A lot of people want to get on golf and stuff. Even throughout all of that, he still led us to 12 wins. So
Mhm. Oh
you
yeah, he
gotta
did.
respect that.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, he did. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
It's
yeah. I'm glad you are totally rooting for us. Thank you, Bears Country
yeah,
Podcast.
yeah.
I
And
appreciate it.
see, and this is the question I want to ask the BCP
Mhm.
because I know they got the first pick with the Bears.
Mhm.
Now, this is what I want to. I know I've asked these guys this before, but I want to just ask it just why I'm on here. Um, have the first pick. What do you do with that? Do you get a receiver? Do you get a quarterback, or just and do you keep Justin Fields? That's the thing. Because can you do another year with Justin Fields, or do you get a Caleb Williams, or do you draft a wide receiver
Right.
in Marvin Harrison? That's gonna be tough for them.
Right.
That's gonna be tough.
Or do you shore up the offensive line? That's
Right.
you know that's one thing too. It's do you make it easier on Justin Fields or by getting
Hmm.
players around him?
Right. 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 Because it's just they've had a lot of injuries on that team, and
Yeah.
their play calling has just been not good. That's why they had to give up their offense coordinators and guys. So, which I was kind of surprised they even kept their coach for now. So I
Right.
don't know. So, but
So
hey,
do you see what the Patriots already have their new coach?
yeah, that was quick.
Yeah, it was.
That, that was very quick.
Yep. Well, I guess he had it in his contract where if once Belichick leaves, he would be, promoted. He would be the
Mm,
successor. So, and that was written and approved before the contract was signed by the NFL. So,
mm, mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just yeah, it was just it was a matter of time. It was just and we knew it was gonna happen eventually. So it's just it just couldn't do it anymore, man. It was just that the team changed, just everything changed, man. And then
mhm,
it's just and Mac Jones. It's going to be interesting to see where they go with Mac Jones and
right.
the defense and the whole offense. So it's going to be interesting to see. And their division is getting better. It's
Oh, yeah.
tougher for them. It's very tough for them. It's like, and I hate to say it, but they're kind of the bottom team in their division. Who would have thought we would have said the New England Patriots we the worst team in
Yeah.
their division?
I know.
You
I
know.
know for sure. And they
Hmm.
get their number 3 overall draft, too, pick.
Yeah, because it's going to be and I wouldn't even know what who they would draft. I mean, maybe a wide receiver, maybe a Somebody
Yeah,
on the defense, because I don't see them getting a quarterback and just moving on for Mac Jones. I don't see that. I just don't see it.
right.
You know.
I'm trying to. I can't remember the guy's name. I know it was one of the assistant coaches.
Hmm. Close the show. You're outpouring the quarterback. Yeah, yeah. The quarterback position is very
Mm. Oh yeah.
highly important.
Mm.
Highly, highly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You and you know what amazes me too, Tim, is that as good of a season the Lions has, Dan Campbell is not even in the running for Coach of the Year.
Right.
That to me is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is because it's just. I mean, he's. I mean, we were 3 wins last or 2 years ago. And
Hmm.
now he's like 26-6 within.
That's
That's that's just great.
that's incredible. That is incredible.
No, Matt Patricia did not take over the Patriots. No, 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 no. Matt Patricia is currently destroying the Eagles' defense
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Actually, one of the guys at work, his name is Tim too. He goes. he told me if the Eagles deserve what they get for hiring Matt Patricia.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, he Patriots had brought him back as yeah, we did maximize Jared
Hmm.
Goff for sure, but
Yeah.
the Patriots did give Matt Patricia, brought him back. They just put him on there for a little bit. Then Max Jones, he got so ticked off with Matt Patricia being the coordinator, the offensive coordinator who knows
Hmm.
defense supposedly, but he don't know anything.
Nothing.
Uh,
Not a
So
soul.
Mac Jones got so ticked off, he went ahead and got uh, Patricia fired.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, which he deserved. I mean, the guy doesn't know what he's doing. It's just, but the Eagles got a lot more issues, man. They got a lot of issues in the
Yeah.
offense too.
Oh yeah,
Like
they did.
it is just that like Hurts hasn't played well the last couple games, and
That's true.
you know it's just
Definitely.
that it's good on our part that
Mhm.
they're doing that. But man, I'm gonna tell you, if they mess around and lose to the Buccaneers, it's gonna be some changes on that team.
Oh yeah, I heard they're talking about actually Hurts not being the starting quarterback.
Mm,
I
mm.
heard that. I don't know if that's true, but they're saying that with the way Hurts is playing right now, that he may not be the starting quarterback. Or
Yeah,
some people are calling for him not to be.
right, right, right. But I don't know who else you could have on there. Yeah,
Oh, shoot, the
Red Sea.
Cardinal, see the Red Sea Brothers podcast. Cool, awesome,
See,
thank you.
okay,
Hmm.
okay, okay. Arizona Cardinal fans, that's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, and that's another question I would have asked. Now, being a Cardinal fan, I gotta ask the same question that asked for Bears. Do you stay with Kyler Murray? Do you get another quarterback? Because y'all need receivers because
Right.
y'all don't really have no weapons like that. So do you get another? Because I wouldn't give up on Kyler Murray. He just needs some weapons. He needs a I like James Conner. I think I like him as a running back. He's physical. I don't know why the Steelers gave up on him. But yeah, he needs some more weapons. I know they got Rondell Moore,
Mhm.
but he needs some more weapons out there. And he has to stay healthy too.
Right.
He has to definitely stay healthy because it's
Yeah.
it's just something about those running quarterbacks. that a lot of their careers end up getting shorter the more they're running. Like, and that's what I'm worried about
Mhm.
Lamar Jackson with.
Oh yeah.
Lamar Jackson is the same way. Like if he
Mhm.
runs, if he runs a lot, and that's their offense, that's gonna break him down. That's gonna shorten his career. So he has to
Yeah.
do more passing.
Right. And of course that's kind of what happened with the Browns quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
here they Watson. They went ahead. They traded for him. He was half the season. He was out his first season because of all the suspension and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And this year he's injured with most of the year.
Yeah,
So
and it's and it's amazing what they've done
mhm.
with the Browns with all the stuff that's been going on, the all the quarterbacks that's been hurt, and even and the real serious injury that Nick Chubb got. That was one of the most
Mhm.
scariest injuries I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Like if he comes back, hey, he's gonna get much respect to him if he comes back. But with all the stuff that they've been through, and then they still made the playoffs, and I think they were one game away from behind Baltimore in the division.
Mhm.
So it's just it's amazing what they've done, especially
Right.
that defense. That defense is pretty good. It's
Right.
pretty good, and to have Flacco out there and stuff too, the guy who has experience and a Super Bowl,
Right.
it's like I'm kind of rooting for them as well, man. Like like the Lions and the Browns,
Mhm.
have been the laughing stock of football for years.
Yep.
You
Mhm.
know.
Exactly. And that would be really nice to see in the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
Yep. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind giving Flacco some flack.
Right. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it at all.
Right. I
I
mean.
would not mind it. Yep.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just yeah, what they've done is incredible, man. And
Mhm.
then for their division to have three teams in there, that's
Right.
that's pretty good, and that's something Baltimore to. I don't think Baltimore wants to see either Cleveland or Pittsburgh. They
Right.
don't, but they know them too well.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, and I know they were like one. I think Baltimore won one, and then Cleveland won one.
Yeah.
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 So did
Yeah.
did
I
they
think.
say?
Grandizer. I think they did pay Hurts. I
Mhm.
think they gave him they gave him a new contract. They gave Hurts a new contract. Yep. Yeah, I don't think he's on his rookie contract. I think they paid him. I think they gave him a bag, a big bag. You know, but yeah, these playoffs is
Mhm.
going to be interesting, man. I think because I got a couple of upsets that I
Mhm.
have in playoffs. Hey man, I got both of the 7 seeds beating the 2 seeds.
Right.
I got the Packers beating the Cowboys, and I got the Steelers beating the Bills.
Yeah. And you know how big that is? A 7 seed has never won a playoff game.
No,
Has never won
no.
it since they expanded it to that. So
Mm-hmm.
wow. Hmm. So
Mm-hmm.
that that would be something that I could see it happening. No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, let me ask you this, Tim. Do you like the playoff system that they have now, or would you rather them have like 8 teams in there, kind of like how they doing in basketball, or do you like it just with the 7 teams?
I want two more teams in each one. That's what I want. I want more football. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that if you put two more teams in, that would be pretty close to half of the teams that are in the league.
Hmm.
And that's two more teams per division, so make it, you know, uh, 9 teams.
Yeah, yeah,
But working
and,
that out,
yeah, and another thing I think I would like them to do. I like them to. You can still have division winners,
hmm
but don't penalize a team that has a better record than that division winner.
right.
Like like the Eagles have a better record than the Buccaneers,
hmm
but the Buccaneers get a home game because they won their division.
Right.
Like it should be whoever has that best record should
Yeah,
have
exactly.
a home
Exactly.
field.
hmm
You
Right.
know,
Make the number of wins. You still have your division winners, like you said, but make the number of wins count.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, absolutely,
Yeah. Now,
absolutely.
would you add the tiebreaker system to that? Because let's say if you're the winner, if you are the winner of the division, and then you have the two, you're both tied, but then the wild card team would actually win the tiebreaker. I don't know. That I might be a little bit different because if they have the same number of wins, I could see giving it to the division as far as for hosting that. But if that team has more wins, no, it should be hosted at. Like the Eagles
Absolutely.
should be hosting that. Uh,
Absolutely.
right.
I
And you,
agree.
hmm we have took. I mean, even the NFC East too. There was a couple of years when you had teams with losing records.
Hmm.
And also the last couple, you know, also in the South, we have had teams with losing records actually beating the division champs.
Right.
And it's just
Right.
because you're in a weak division, you know.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And just like the NFC South this
hmm
year and not the AFC South, yeah, the NFC South and the AFC South.
Right.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. Just like, you can say the same thing, but for Cleveland and Houston. I mean, it should be in Cleveland instead of being in Houston, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think to me, I think I'm with now if there's a tiebreaker,
hmm
especially like in the division, like if there's a tiebreaker in the divisions, or
hmm
like if there's a wild card, I think it should be just like baseball. I think it should just be a tiebreaker to where they're playing. Those tiebreaker teams are playing each other.
Okay.
I think it should be like that.
hmm
That
You mean
and
like
uh
have an extra game? Is that
yes,
what?
yes.
Uh,
I would
okay.
love it. Just like you said, more football. I love more football. Even though the players don't like it, I love it, and I know you like it, Tim. So
That's
the
true.
more football it is, the better. I
Oh,
love it.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I was at the beginning of the year, I was actually campaigning for uh, two playoff teams added per division, and also two more a 20 game regular season.
I love it. I love it.
It's just I didn't get too far with that, but I was actually campaigning for that.
Yeah. And I think they should have at least another preseason game too.
hmm
I think they should. I think it should be.
The
I think
fourth,
each team should have at least two home games, two road, two home games.
yeah. Now, would you give up one more preseason game for a regular season?
Absolutely,
Oh, definitely. Yep, me
a
too.
100%,
hmm
100%. I would. No doubt about it. I would love to see a 20 game season. I would
yeah.
love to see that. Well, technically we do if we add the 3 games of the preseason. We kind of already do got a 20 game season.
Yeah, but
So
I'm saying
yeah.
a 20-game season that counts.
Right, right,
That's what I'm
absolutely.
saying. I mean,
And you know
yeah.
what, Tim? A lot of these players have an issue with playing 17 games
Right.
because they feel like because they don't want to play, they want to stick to the old system. They think
Mm-hmm.
an extra game, they have an issue with that,
Right.
and that's on them. But
Mm-hmm.
when you play football, that's just how it is, So
Oh yeah.
you,
Oh yeah. It is. It's how it is. It's I mean, heck, you guys are a lot of them are making a hell of a lot of money. Let's
yeah,
just face it. I mean, and they you know not I'm not saying they don't earn it because I mean this this is a collision sport. It's not
hmm
it's above a contact sport. It's a collision sport. You know, two or more bodies colliding together.
hmm
You know, I mean, it's just somebody's going to get hurt.
oh
Somebody
yeah,
has to break.
absolutely.
So, but hell, I just think for the fans it would be just so much better.
hmm
But
Absolutely.
I can understand looking at the play. I mean, I'm not the one that's playing with that's getting up the next day with all those aches and pains and
Right.
on and other stuff. And then you think, okay, you know, uh, I got to go ahead and then do this longer
Right.
before the playoffs even start.
hmm
Now,
hmm
what about adding more players to the roster? If you go ahead and you do that, okay, you add, right now you got 53 players. What if you go ahead and add a few more players? And that would also hike up the salary cap too, because you would have more income coming in from those games, plus more TV revenue. So you could actually, get that salary cap up there too.
I absolutely. I
Hmm.
absolutely. I like that idea. Have had a 53 man roster boosted up to 60 or boosted to
Hmm.
70.
Right.
I mean it'll be a lot more. You'll have less injuries.
Right.
Very a lot of less injuries if that happens, or
Hmm.
just have it, or just have like a league, or just have like a developmental league, kind of like or if you have the USFL, the XFL, you
Hmm.
have some of those guys who's like, okay, well, he's not doing too well here. Let's just send him to the SFL, give him some development, let him play,
Right.
and kind of like how the NBA is doing with the G League.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
I,
Yeah.
I would like the NFL to do something like that, something similar
Mhm.
to that.
Right.
You know, and just for them to prepare them for and to give them just more playing time.
Hmm.
Just
So
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 they'll be ready.
so would you be more for the I know it's a UHL now or UFL now. Would you
hmm
be more for them actually playing simultaneously with the NFL? Because I mean that's one thing with the with the other farm teams and stuff like that. You have them playing at the same time.
I
You
would
know.
say I would say only do that when they add more games and more teams.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If they,
Yeah. I
I
mean.
would even say add all the teams. I was and I know we talked about this before. Like I would have liked them to add all the teams and all
Yeah.
them combined, and for
Yeah.
them to
Keep them
play,
all in.
you know, play a 17, 18 games or something.
Yeah.
Like I would have loved to see that.
Right. Yeah, because it would have rivaled more. Now see what I would really like to see is the NFL go ahead and actually invest in that.
hmm
And actually, support it and make it where they're, kind of make it their own, kind of like what they used to have with the World League of American Football and
Absolutely.
NFL Europe and all this other stuff. Just go
hmm
ahead and actually, do it like you said, like the farm system and stuff like that.
hmm
But help this league succeed. Don't make it your enemy because this was not the old USFL that was competing against the NFL, that was taking your players away from you. This
hmm
this is a league that can go ahead and make your can develop players for you. And if you start looking at it that way, instead
Absolutely.
of in a competition way. But I mean, the NFL has always been afraid of competition. They've
Mm-hmm.
been
No
afraid.
question.
They've been afraid of college football and competition. That's why they started playing on Sundays, and they basically, I mean, that's why they stay away from Saturdays until the college season is done.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't want to, they don't want to compete for that revenue, the fans, and all that other stuff,
Right.
because they know that they might not always win. you know,
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Just like with the yeah, and they should combine that. I'm
yeah,
surprised that they didn't do that with the CFL, the Canadian Football League. I'm surprised
yeah,
they didn't do that
right.
with them
Hmm.
because it's just got and I've always wanted to go to a CFL game in Canada. I think that would be
Hmm.
fun because I don't know
Right.
all the rules to it, even though it's kind of it's out there. But I would
Yeah.
just love to get the feeling of that. But yeah, I think a merger would be good for the NFL, man, because I think everybody would win in that
Right.
situation, especially the fans. Because more
Hmm.
football, you'll have more fans there, and it's good that they have former NFL players that are a part of the USFL, XFL. It's
Right.
good that they have that. Have Daryl Johnson, who's the owner of that, of what was the owner of the XFL, not
Right.
XFL, the USFL.
Hmm.
But to have it as a merger, I'm eager to see how they do that, and especially going to Michigan Panther games, which I'm gonna do that
Yeah.
definitely in March. But it's just gonna be interesting to see how they do that with the teams and stuff.
Hmm.
So if they're going to
Right.
add more teams other than the 8 teams that they have. So,
And if
unfortunately, uh-huh.
I think if they do, it'll be a couple years down the road. I don't
Yeah.
think they're going to add. It's you know, see, and that was disappointing to me. What I mean, just like I know AFC that they watered it down. I thought
Mhm.
the I, XFL and XFL and if the XFL and the USFL merged, I thought they should have kept at least most of the teams that were viable, most of the franchises, and just kept it where you know it made sense. But to just go ahead and cut it down to 8 teams, to me, that doesn't make sense.
No,
You know,
it doesn't.
it does. It's just you just made two leagues into one week league, in my opinion.
And I feel bad for the fans in some of these cities because in some of them cities they don't have
Hmm.
pro football teams.
Right. Hmm.
So that's gonna hurt them because a lot of these towns they have only a college town. They only have college team. So to
Right.
have a pro team there,
Hmm.
even though they're from the SFL and the USFL, that means something to them. That's their NFL team. Is that
Right.
so they really feel passionate, and I feel for fans who had who had a team in these cities and don't have it. I really feel for them. But it's going to be interesting to me to see the teams that's not in it. Where do
Hmm.
they go? Are they in another league? Do they just not exist? Like I don't. What can you do with that? I mean, you have to start something else.
Yeah.
So,
I think currently they're just disbanding because they're having a dispersal draft.
hmm
So, I think so. I don't think there's any plans for them. Now they may have been they may have been guaranteed that if they expand, that they would get the first choice. You know,
hmm
if they expand later on, they would get the first choice. Of course, that's just me guessing. I don't know, but I mean that
right,
just seems like it would be the right thing to do.
yeah,
And this kind of sounds like to me, even though it's a merger, I
hmm
and even though the Rock's the spokesperson, it kind of sounds to me like it was more of I think that USFL is more running it. The United,
Hmm.
because they were the ones that were scared, you were afraid to expand. You know, uh, they thought maybe they would expand in a couple of years was what they
Hmm.
were saying. So,
Hmm.
with what I'm seeing right now, I just think that they were, that the USFL more or less, that regime has a little bit more power than what the XFL had. And that's just, of course, outside
Hmm.
guessing and stuff like that. Just was what I know on how they didn't want to expand.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at that. I mean, they just, I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. Unfortunately, it had to come to that point.
Right.
But it would have just been nice to just have all the teams just merge and
Yeah.
stuff. I know a couple teams would have had two teams there, but hey, that's it means more football and more
Yep.
fans.
Yep.
You know, something we would love to see. But
hmm
hey, it happens. Unfortunately, it
Right.
happens. But I hope in a year or two those teams could come back, or they'll be in another league somewhere, and people will show support with
Right. Yep. Exactly. Okay. I ain't going to be able to get all these comments, but we'll get a few of them. And
them.
I'm not slighting anybody, believe me. But if you want to read some of these comments, you can too.
Okay, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, it says it's gonna be a hard game for Flacco. We will see if he can stick it like Kurt Warner did when we went to the Super Bowl. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
All right. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That Arizona team was pretty nice. The team that went to
mhm.
the Super Bowl with
Oh,
Fitzgerald and all them guys. It was nice.
mhm. Okay. So yes, Lions versus Saint Browns Super Bowl. Super Bowl would be
A million.
where's the Saint Brown? I just had Saint Brown, so I put
Right.
Saint. Amazing. Tim was there when both teams had their inaugural year. Tim's been around.
that, that
Uh,
ain't right. That
it's
ain't
all
right.
right. But it's typical. Hurt got 5 years, a 5 year
Yeah,
extension. Yeah.
yeah.
For
I knew he had an
2021.
extension.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Steelers beating Bills, huh?
Yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, Red Sea, I'm telling you, the Steelers, they win these type of games, man, and they love these cold weather games. They're used to it. And plus they're a physical team. These are the type of games that they win. And then Buffalo, you don't know what type of Buffalo team you're gonna get now. Because they've been so up and down this season, man. It's just you just never know. But I think the Steelers can steal one there. They can steal one.
It's in their
They
name.
can. Right. I mean,
Okay.
and it's the playoffs. Anything can happen.
Yeah. Well, here's somebody who agrees with you.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can see the Steelers beating the Bills. If the Jets can beat the Bills, so could the Steelers. Plus, the Steelers got a better coach. They won't get bullied around. Right. And,
Yeah.
and they listen, and they've been in that AFC North,
hmm
so they prepared
Right.
for anything and any type of team. When you in the same division as the Ravens and the Browns and the Bengals, they will prepare you for playoff football.
hmm
Please believe that.
Right.
Absolutely.
And
And,
and
and
both those teams are cold weather teams too.
yeah. And, and,
So.
and, and and Mike Tomlin has to get the respect. I mean, ever since he's been there, he's had a winning season
hmm
every season he's coached. So
Right.
you have to give respect, even with the quarterback situation that they have with Rudolph and Kenny Pickett. I know a lot of Steeler fans do not like Kenny Pickett.
Right.
They wish they wouldn't even drafted him. You know,
hmm
but this what y'all have. But I like their receiving core. I like Johnson. I really like George Pickens. I
Right.
really like George Pickens. So and then Najee Harris, and they got a decent defense too, so they could do some things. They tend to rise up. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think if anything, though, Tim, I think the Bills might be under the most pressure out of anybody in the AFC,
Right.
just because of what happened in the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's a make or break a year, I think, for them. Because if they don't make a Super Bowl, I think it's going to be some changes.
Yep. And will Josh Allen get the axe?
Right. That's
Because
the
I
thing.
mean he's been their best ally along with their worst enemy.
Yeah. And if Stephon Diggs want to stay there, he might want to go somewhere else.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. That AFC playoff picture is going to be very interesting, those matchups.
Wow. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Let's get some about the coaches. Okay. Well, actually, we'll get. My head hurts thinking about. Yeah, I just said there's a lot. Okay, what do you, okay, let's see what. Okay, I get fans want more teams, more games, etc. But playing football is equal to walking away from auto accident. Players have said their body can't take the punishment in that case.
but you know what, Grandizer? This is the thing. If you want to play football, you got to get used to the punishment. It's a physical sport. You got to get used to it. And I would say that with any sport. You
Mhm.
have to get used to all these games and just being physical. It comes with playing football. I mean, it's like telling a quarterback he don't want to get hit. Why are you playing football if you don't like getting hit? It comes with the game. you know? Yeah, but you yeah, Tim, I had to say it. Yep, I had to. But you know what, Tim? But you know what, Tim?
Yeah,
It's almost like the NFL don't want you to hit the quarterback. Like Andy,
right,
you tap on them, it's a penalty.
right.
It's
Yeah,
like
when they choose, it's a penalty.
yeah,
Because there's
it,
some teams. I mean, I'll tell you. I remember, and we have seen it with Goff. We have seen it with Stafford when he was lying, where they'll
mm,
go ahead and go ahead and hit him after he's down, and no roughing the passer or anything like that.
mm,
And then you'll go ahead and touch a damn Dallas quarterback, he'll fall to the ground, and then there's 15-yard penalty, roughing the
yep,
passer.
yep,
I mean,
yep,
they protect the quarterbacks who they want to protect.
absolutely,
You know?
absolutely. It's incredible.
Yeah,
It's absolutely incredible, man. The league has to do something about that, and they have to change it.
right.
Also, a lot of coaches don't want to take the time to develop players in key positions. If they can't develop a player, just go free agency and an issue is nearly solved. Uh, uh,
Yeah, to the
yeah.
fair. But then you have salary cap hell sometimes too. That's one
Mhm.
thing. Okay, the only way a longer season would work if we had Star Trek, which where injuries are healed in a super quick time. That way, the competition is still at a
Yeah.
high level. I mean,
See, and this what brings back to what we was just talking about, Tim. That's another reason why they need to add more players to the roster.
mhm,
So it'll be way less injuries. I mean,
right,
you'll still have injuries, but you'll have just more depth in these positions if you
yeah,
just have more.
Mm-hmm.
These teams are gonna make a lot of money anyway, so it shouldn't hurt them. I don't think it should hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
So they should have like a 60 or 70 player, or if you want to do 80 uh roster
Yeah,
spots.
I can just hear the presidents right now of these. How the hell am I going to pay for these? These salary caps, but like we were saying, you would get a few more games, so that would also increase the salary cap revenue and stuff like that
Mhm. Right,
to the Blades.
right,
You know,
right. Absolutely, absolutely. Have a development team
yeah.
during the NFL season. You know that will always help, but it's going to always be injuries. I
Oh yeah,
mean, it happens every year. I
yeah,
mean,
it is.
look at Aaron Rodgers. Who would have
Mhm.
thought that he was going to be injured the first play of the season?
You know what? I didn't think it would be the first play. Okay, but I'll tell you, I thought the guy was old over the hill, and I'll tell you, I just said the Jets were so stupid to get him. I'm
Yes.
saying that. It was like, you know, here this guy who really didn't end up his career great with Green Bay. He was at the
Hmm.
tail end of the season, and then the Jets owner just goes ahead and brings in, it's like,
Hmm.
why?
Yeah.
Yes, he was good at his heyday, you know,
Yeah. He
but
was.
he's not the same Aaron Rodgers as he once was. For you to be
No.
looking at him as your savior, it's not going to happen. And
No.
if I'm Green Bay, I'm laughing all the way to the bank. Idiots, these idiots want to take this troublemaker off my head, and I will deal him because I don't want him anymore. I don't want
Right.
the BS that comes with him. This is going to be better
Hmm.
for my team. I can finally develop love the way that I wanted to, and I don't
Yep.
need to hear him. Oh, maybe I'll play for you this year. Maybe I won't. I gotta go hide in my little old cave and just go ahead and free. It's like,
Yeah.
and you
Exactly.
want him? And I mean, yeah, I'm sure the Packers are mad that he didn't at least play enough games so they could secure that number one draft pick from him. Because it was a conditional. So
Hmm.
get a uh, uh, second round draft pick instead of number
Hmm.
one round draft pick.
Right. Yeah. And it just shows. And during that time, with Green Bay letting them go, letting Aaron Rodgers go, that just proves that they had a lot of confidence in Jordan Love.
Mhm.
And on top of that, the Jets, with them getting Aaron Rodgers, that just shows that they didn't have no confidence in Zach Wilson.
Right,
None.
right.
Because, hey, Tim, it's bad when you got to rely on Tim Boyle to be your
Oh yeah, I
quarterback.
know, I know. I mean, this guy fails everywhere he goes. He failed in college. You know, I mean, I still remember Michael Mike saying, "Boyle is like the boil on my ass." And when I heard they brought in Tim Boyle as backup
Oh,
quarterback, that elevated him to starting quarterback. It's like, what the heck is wrong with this organization? No wonder you guys are losers because you just go ahead and have so much damn money that
mhm.
you just throw away ridiculously.
Yeah, they do.
You
They
know?
do. That's how bad the NFL can be, man. When you just throwing
Yeah.
money at somebody, like it's just
Mhm.
like, man, why are they throwing so much money at this person? And it's just like they don't even deserve it. They don't play that much.
Right?
So
Like
yeah.
it's just like what Cleveland did with Sean Watson. They thought that he was going to be that final piece. They were willing to go ahead. and they were willing to take that time where he was suspended, but they thought that
Hmm.
he would be there for most of the season this year, but he got injured.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
plus, you got to also look at it that year that he was off because he held out because he didn't want to play. You know,
Hmm.
he
Right,
held out. It was like, what was he doing then? His body got out of football shape than what it was from when he was constantly playing.
right,
I mean, it's
right.
not surprising he got hurt.
Yeah, yeah. And all the massages kind of just messed them up too. It's just, hey, you gotta do
Let's
what you
go,
gotta
Bucks.
do.
Let's go, Bucks. Fire up the
Go bust.
canyons.
All right, the cat.
You guys try to shoot down some egos, huh?
Hey, the Buccaneers need an offense, man. Because if you only, hey, if you struggle to score a touchdown against Carolina, that's a you're gonna have even more problems with the Eagles.
Right.
Ooh, Baker Mayfield, or as some of my podcast buddies would call him, Baker Trashfield. Say adding more players to the roster does not matter. It's about the talent level. You can have five quarterbacks or running backs or wide receivers, but if
Mhm.
but if they are talent, if they have a talent level, it's not to the level of it at least. I understand.
Mhm.
I understand. I totally understand. I understand that completely. It's just all about the talent level. You gotta have as many players in as many positions as possible. Just like with the Lions. I mean, we real depth in that safety position,
Right.
but we got to find a way to get everybody playing time.
Yep.
When you got Kirby Joseph and C.D. Deuce, and you
Right.
got Branch, and you got Tracy Walker, and you got
Yep.
Marathon. You got to find ways to make
Mhm.
everybody happy.
Yep.
You know, that's gonna be difficult. So, yep, yep.
And
But
sometimes there's that untapped talent that you really don't know either.
mm-hmm,
If you add more, you could find those diamonds in the rough and stuff like that too. Who
yeah,
knows?
yeah. Like Marathon was a diamond in the rough. We
Yeah.
didn't know, how good he was, and then you see him play now. He's had a good season.
Yeah, he has.
The Brian Branch, another diamond in the rough.
Yep.
Laporta.
Oh,
Who would have thought Laporta would be this good? It's
yeah.
people that was talking about when we drafted him, like, nah, why would we draft another tight end? We had to give up Hawkinson. You
Yeah,
know,
and actually, he played his first season was better than Hawkinson's first season.
yeah.
Yeah, and
It, it,
and Hawkinson was took it 8 overall, wasn't that? I think.
mhm, yeah. And it's something about these Iowa tight ends, man, that is
Mm,
that is really something. I mean, Hawkinson, Kittle,
mhm.
Noah Fant, and now you got Laporta. So
Oh,
their tight ends system has been very good at Iowa.
oh yeah.
You know, it's been very good. I'm very happy with Laporta, man. He's playing very well. He's broken a lot of rookie records so
Yeah.
far.
Oh, definitely.
So
I mean, I think he
mhm,
should be. He's definitely definitely like the top three, one of the top three rookies.
mhm,
This year. You know,
yeah,
unfortunately, one of
absolutely.
the other ones is on the Rams side.
Yeah, yeah, Puka Nakua. Yeah,
I
that's
know.
a
And what a name, Puka Nakua.
Puka
I mean,
Nakua.
yeah, that's
Hmm. And
and
that's
that,
something too, man. The Rams have a good offense. A lot of people do. They talk about the cool. They forget about Cooper Cup, the
oh yeah,
Super Bowl wide receiver, and
hmm
they got a couple of guys too with Tutu Atwell and Higby too. So they got some wide receivers, and I like their running back in Kyron Williams too. I like him. So we
Mm-hmm.
gotta just neutralize that offense because they a high powered offense, man. We just gotta put pressure on Stafford,
Yeah.
and we
We
can't
gotta
give
knock
up
him out
any
of
big
that.
plays.
We gotta knock him out of his ass.
Yeah,
Excuse the language.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I mean, and that's one chant I want you to start at the game. Knock him on his ass.
Knock him on his ass.
Knock him on his ass.
Be like, hit him in the Stafford.
Oh,
Man, and we have to do that, man. We got to make him
yeah.
feel uncomfortable,
Mhm.
and then the crowd too. Make it as
Yeah.
loud as you can, so these players can't hear the plays.
Exactly. Yeah. Use that home field advantage. Use that crowd.
Mhm.
And you know
Yeah,
what? If the refs try to go ahead and uh, penalize the team for the crowd, then rush it that field and kick that ref out.
right.
I remember back when they did, when they did that to Lions, they said they stopped them. Quiet down. They can't, if they
Mhm.
keep on making noise, we're going to go ahead and penalize this team. So Lions players need
Mhm.
to go ahead. I know that was back in the 80s and stuff, but that's some of the
Yeah.
dirty stuff that's been done.
Oh yeah. Oh, most definitely. Most
Yep.
definitely. Absolutely. But it's been going on for years though, so
Mm,
it ain't no surprise.
yep.
It ain't no surprise. But yeah, I'm just hoping. And then we can't give up big plays. We can't
No.
give up big plays. And we can't give Stafford any time. And we have to guard these tight ends. We have a tough time with tight ends this season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you know,
Hmm.
we've had a tough time with the Mark Andrews, the Cole Clements, the
Oh, yeah.
all a lot of these guys.
Yep.
So we gotta, but we can't give up the big plays, especially how we gave up big plays against Dallas. That long CeeDee Lamb touchdown, that never
Hmm.
should have happened.
No.
That never should have. And then another thing I have to bring up too, the tackling has to get better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They got to
Mm,
wrap them up and make sure they take them to the ground.
yeah, yeah. It said a case where the Jets and Giants owners don't prioritize player safety. They actually got the money to change that field out often. It depends if they want to spend the money. See, here's the thing though too with the Giants and the Jets. You have a New York team that plays in New Jersey.
Hmm.
I I don't get that. Play on the team, play in the state where you at. I'm not a fan of that's just like the Commanders playing in Maryland. Like why they can't play in Washington? You know, I don't get
Yep.
it. But yeah, a lot of them don't want to spend money in, especially and with the Giants, um,
Excuse me.
they got to figure out what they want to do with Daniel Jones, or
I
as
know.
people will call him, Danny Dimes. All he's been throwing is pennies. You know, and I feel, and I really feel for Saquon Barkley because he
Yeah.
has to go through all of this, these quarterbacks, and he's just sitting back like, what am I doing here? I don't need.
Yeah.
I'm too good for this.
Yeah. Now you know where Aaron Rodgers' next stop is once he gets released from the Jets, right?
What Minnesota?
Yeah. He'll
Yeah,
just go ahead and
yeah,
follow, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you know what, Tim? Wouldn't it be something if he goes back to Green Bay? Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
something?
He actually could.
Yeah.
And remember his last game at Green, or well, when the trade was announced, he told Green Bay, "Don't worry, I'll be back."
Hmm.
He did tell them that.
Yeah, he did. He did. But if you get him back, what are you gonna do with Jordan Love? Is he gonna be a backup, or he's gonna be like, hey, I don't feel like being nobody backup. This was my time. Like,
Right.
what are y'all doing?
I mean, brought him to the playoffs his first year. Jordan Love did.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And then it's amazing if they do get him back. Um, would he be with these receivers, or would he bring in a Randall Cobb or this person? You know, like
Right.
I don't know,
I
but
mean, Jordan Love proved that his receivers can do it. But the
oh,
matter
oh,
is,
he's got a talented man. He
yeah,
has a talented bunch of wide receivers,
mhm,
man.
yeah,
Like I was, and I knew Watson was good, but I
right.
didn't realize how good Romeo Dobbs is.
Mhm,
I knew about Jalen Reed. Michigan State, so I knew how good
right.
he was.
Yeah,
But have him and Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, I think the Lions in the future, the Packers and the Bears, they gonna give them a run for their money.
oh yeah,
If these guys they develop,
hmm,
they gonna give them a run of their money, because teams like the Packers and the Bears, they're they're looking at the Lions and like, hey, we
hmm,
need to be like the Lions.
right.
So and even in some cases, Minnesota too.
Hmm,
So they're looking at us like, man, hey, we got to catch up to them. We got to be just like them. So
oh
you
yeah,
better take advantage of the division while you have it.
exactly. Because yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the Bears can upgrade like crazy in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
they got the number one overall pick, and let's say go ahead and trade it for a couple other draft picks. Who
Yeah.
knows what they could do with that? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And this,
Mhm.
and unfortunately, they had to trade their number one draft pick last draft. And
Right.
who knows what they would have had if they would have got somebody like a CJ Stroud or somebody.
Yeah.
You know, things could be different.
Hmm.
You know, I'm glad they didn't, because he would be in a division. So, you
I know.
know,
Strauss, yeah. I mean, and that's one thing. He does not play like a rookie. He plays like he's a,
no.
he's so comfortable in that pocket, and
Yeah.
oh,
And see, and that's what happens when you have college quarterbacks
yeah.
that stay, 3 years, 4 years. They
Hmm.
have that experience, and and that's what they're used to, and it helps them in the NFL. It helps them.
Oh yeah.
It helps a lot of these guys, because you see a lot of quarterbacks leaving college early.
Hmm.
Um, like and then if they're not uh, in the playoff picture, they're not going to play in their bowl games.
Right.
So, which they shouldn't have to if they don't want to, because they don't want to mess up their draft,
Yeah. Right.
projected draft pick. So
Yeah.
they're going to just play. But I think that's bad for college football, because then you don't have all the good players playing in the game. So
True.
you know you don't want to pay the money and be like, oh, these players not even playing.
Exactly.
Uh, so
But
that hurts it.
mhm. But at least they finally found a way where the college players, can get some money.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
oh yeah,
which is something they should have did a long time ago. Because
absolutely.
how many college players have been hurt? You know,
Hmm.
and I mean, sure you get a grade A, scholarship for free, but let's just face it, most of those college players that play football are in it to get into the NFL. They're not.
Absolutely,
They're not in
absolutely.
it to become doctors and lawyers. And I mean, hey, that would be the smart thing to do,
Right.
to have the education and become doctors, lawyers, or whatever, and it all being paid
Hmm.
for by the university. And right, because not everybody's going to make it in the NFL. And of
Absolutely.
course, the USL, the USL, UFL. that's not going to pay anywhere near what the NFL pays. You know.
Mm-mm. No, no. Unfortunately, it happens like that, man. But
Yeah.
as long as you in a league, that's
Yeah.
good. But man, yeah, the object is to be in the NFL and get those millions and being a good player and win the Super Bowl. So that's every football player's dream.
Right.
And it only happens to a percentage amount of players,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately.
Yep.
But you know what I'm saying? But if you are in the minor leagues, or if you in the UFL or anywhere else, or CFL or anywhere else, hey,
Mm-hmm.
don't don't discourage yourself in being in that. Just
Right.
keep working your way up, and you just never know who's watching. You never know.
That's true. That's true. You never do. You
Hmm.
never know who's watching for sure.
Yeah, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. So, you gotta just keep fighting and just keep thinking. Just use that motivation to get better. Use it.
Mhm. And I definitely will be streaming during the game.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. After that, I'm gonna check the show out. I have
Oh, yeah. I know.
I'm,
I see. I
I'm
get to see how
yeah.
I get to see how far my cable is behind. You wouldn't realize it, and
Yeah.
I I got cable. I don't have streaming service, and it's still
Hey, it happens, man. The Wi-Fi can be something. I tell you,
yeah.
it could be something. But hey, it's still man. It's gonna be a good game, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to this game. I
I
just
would,
cannot wait.
maybe next year I might try to be an usher.
Hey, hey,
That would be great.
hey. You know, hey.
I got some friends. They usher for Notre Dame. So
Oh
they yeah.
wow.
So they're this was their second year doing it. The first year they were just volunteer ushers, but
Hmm.
this year every usher just started getting paid.
Oh
So
wow.
so they get paid to
Wow.
go to the game that they love to go to. you know?
Mm. Hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And see, and that's a football field I always wanted to go to was Notre Dame. That's
Mhm.
one of my goals is to go to a Notre Dame football game and just see the nostalgia, just to look at all the history within that, man. That would be really something to go to a football game there.
Actually, I do stream the game a lot anyway. So, uh, and it's
Yes,
just basically like a watch party and stuff like that. But
yes, yeah. Shout out to the Royal Lions UK and Michael
yeah.
Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that does Detroit Lions content, hey, salute to you.
Yeah, and also the friends, the our Bears Country podcast.
Yeah,
Shout out to you, uh,
yes,
Rasheen
absolutely.
John. Oh, how do you pronounce that name?
Rasheed Singh, so Ka- Kaluhan. I hope I said it right. I probably didn't.
Sorry if we chopped your name.
Rasheed.
Yeah,
We just gonna call you RSC. We'll call you
yeah,
that.
yeah. RSC. Yeah.
Yeah. How
Okay.
you doing? How you doing over there?
And of course, let me see. And Red Sea Brothers podcast. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
And of course, thank you, Grandizer 12, definitely for all your comments.
Mhm.
Sorry we didn't have time to get to them all.
Yeah, that's all right. It's
Mm.
all right.
Oh, and wow.
Just subscribe. Oh, you got a new
All right.
subscriber, Tim.
Hey, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mace, yeah, Mace Tagger. Good salute to you. Salute to you.
Hmm.
Say, Tim, you don't stream the game on a regular basis. Those other channels sure could use your support.
True.
Very.
Mhm.
Very.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. It's hard to do streaming on these games though. It's hard. It's hard.
especially because I got this big ass monitor, so
Right.
I I got to look to the sideways in order to see the game, or move my seat way over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Because you
actually
got
have
so
this.
much stuff going on at once and you try to concentrate on everything.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Mhm.
It happens. It definitely happens, definitely. But don't do your follow don't do your fellow fans dirty.
Oh wow, you're really
I'm
making me the bad guy.
That ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right.
Oh boy.
You know, he works hard. He do his best. He got a lot going on. You know, got a lot going on. It's all right.
Mhm.
It happens.
Speaking of a lot going on, unfortunately, I gotta get ready for work.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta get ready to go to this Piston game. Well, another loss. Yeah. So there's anybody that's going to the game. They actually giving away a bobblehead. The Thompson twins, they're giving away the bobblehead of the Thompson twins at LCA. So
And
get
yeah, I'm gonna
yeah.
need to get an email from you
Hmm.
because remember you talked about logos.
Yeah, yeah.
That email I will give to my friend, and he will give you the email that gets the logo.
Oh, sweet.
So
Sweet. Yeah,
yeah.
appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. So
Appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. I really appreciate that, Tim.
mhm.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta see these Pistons tonight, man. I got a lot of games ahead of the weekend, man. I got
Mhm.
the Pistons game. I got the Cruise game tomorrow. Got the Lions game Sunday. Got the Cruise again on Monday.
Wow.
Then Wednesday I got the Cruise and the Pistons on the same day.
Right.
So it's gonna be crazy. But being a sports fan, I love it.
Yeah. And you also have a storm that's coming into Michigan too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you gotta watch out for that.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, granddaughter got a question. He said, I don't get these content creators. What do a play by play that are not even fans of the game playing? Stay in your own lane, fam. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And you know what? It's good to have content creators that know the game. It's some of these guys that don't know the game
Right.
and don't
Mm-hmm.
know what they're talking about. So it's just good that you have content creators that not only know the game, but that can get along with each other too. It may agree to disagree,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just all about respect.
Yep.
And I'm definitely all for that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because
Me too.
yeah, because the one thing I love to do if a person has good content or a good content
Mhm.
creator, I spread it out. I
Yep.
spread their show out. I shout it out. I've shouted out your show a lot of
Mhm.
times on our podcast. And that just tells me the type of respect that I have for you and your content. So,
I appreciate it.
oh, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
And of course, I do try to do the same for you too.
I appreciate that, man.
Mhm.
I really appreciate that. No, I know we were supposed to have a special guest on yesterday, but unfortunately they had to run. So Yeah, it's okay. We'll
Yeah.
get him back.
All right. But yeah, I do gotta get ready for work. But hey,
Yes,
let's
sir.
go Lions. Let's win some
Let's
ball
go.
games.
Let's go, Lions.
Roar!
Roar!
Stereo. Now in stereo, the roar.
Yes,
Not in
sir.
UK. Not the roar in UK, the roar in Michigan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
if
sir.
you want to stay on a little bit, then I can get your. You can put your email. But once we're out of here,
Okay.
actually, there's supposed to be a private chat
Yeah.
that I can
I
get.
mean, if not, I can always send it. I can always send my email to I could text it to you too.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll work.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. You know, I'll just
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
text it
Because
to
I know you got to run and you got to head to work, so I don't want to
you. Mm-hmm.
take that.
Yeah.
I don't want to disturb your time with doing that. So,
Yeah. Unfortunately, I gotta go to
but I.
work.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You got to get that money. You got to
Yep.
get the donuts.
Oh yeah. And unfortunately, I got to work tomorrow too, and that's
Oh,
with that
ooh.
snowstorm coming in. I'm not looking forward to it.
No, no, no.
And
We just gonna pray. We just gonna pray for you, man. We just gonna pray for you.
definitely, definitely. I'm hearing some places are like 11 to 14 inches.
Oh man,
Yeah.
jeez.
Plus, I live by the lake, so you get lake effect.
Ooh. Oh, so you really feel that cold?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely praying for you for sure.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And I don't have forward drive either.
Dang, me either. Especially going to these games, I ain't looking forward to driving through no snowstorm.
Oh gosh, no.
Dude. But for the Lions, it'll be worth it though.
Yeah, especially especially when they beat the Rams.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
right.
But yeah. But I ain't gonna hold you too long, man. I just want to say,
Mhm.
thank you for having me on, man. I like I say, I got
Oh
much
no,
respect for you, man. And keep doing what you're doing. You have a wonderful show here, man. And more people and more people are gonna tune into it, man, and be on it. So I just want to say thank you
yeah,
so much as always, man. Thank
yep.
you very
And
much.
thank you. And with that, everybody have a great day.
Yes,
Got to get
sir.
out of here, and let's hope the Pistons can find a way to win.
We praying. We